I'm Lina Washington at Folsom High School, where the Bulldogs have a shot at making history on the gridiron tonight. I have a preview of our ABC 10 Game of the Week coming up next. Yeah, Chris, you can see they're packing the stands for this JV game. They're already lining the streets at the exit to park and getting ready for a 7:30 kickoff right here at Folsom High School. These are nationally ranked teams, two of the most respected programs in all of high school football, the De La Salle Spartans and the Folsom Bulldogs. Now, if you're not familiar with De La Salle, to give you some perspective on how dominant this team is, they have not lost a game to an opponent north of Fresno since 1991. Yeah, this would be historic if the Bulldogs can pull off a win.
So, of course, Luke Walton addressing those questions, but he did talk about basketball as well and the potential he sees in this team when it comes to making the playoffs. We have his complete interview on the sports page at abc10.com, along with interviews with some of your favorite Kings players on the ABC 10 YouTube channel, and you will hear from them. We'll take you inside Media Day right here in the Golden One Center coming up. Yes, Chris, of course, that was the elephant in the room with head coach Luke Walton. We heard from him for the very first time since being introduced as the new Kings head coach back in April. But Media Day is in the books this year, and it's hard to believe that this time next week, this new look Sacramento Kings team will be on the other side of the globe, getting ready for their first preseason test in India against the Indiana Pacers, where they will be bringing NBA basketball to the country for the very first time.
I'm Lina Washington in El Dorado Hills. Our ABC 10 Game of the Week is about much more than football. I'll tell you the meaning behind the artwork on these rocks coming up next. And every year, this is a big rivalry game, a major matchup between neighboring cities with Folsom and Oak Ridge. But for the Trojan football family, tonight has a special meaning because it will be an opportunity to celebrate the life and legacy of the late Jason Clark. He was a beloved high school football coach with the Oak Ridge Trojans and throughout the El Dorado Hills community. He unexpectedly passed away at the beginning of the year with complications from pneumonia. Yeah, Chris, it is the second week of the high school football season, but tonight here at Sac State's Hornet Stadium, you can see the JV teams wrapping up behind me, but the four-time state champion Folsom Bulldogs will kick off their season against the Jesuit Marauders in our ABC 10 Game of the Week at 7:30. It's always a must-see matchup every season, but with it being under the lights here at Hornet Stadium.
Well, of course, Kevin, tons of fans, more than 19,000 in fact, packing Oracle Arena for one of the last Warriors games here in Oakland. But right now, their chance of Let's Go Raptors ringing out throughout the arena after this big win on the road. So both teams picking up wins on the road. Hey, it's Lina Washington coming to you from inside Oracle Arena. Game 3 of the NBA Finals series between the Raptors and the Warriors in the books. And even though we are on Warriors ground, chance of Let's Go Raptors. We're ringing throughout this building. Well, right now, if you can hear me, I'm surprised because that's like half of Canada behind me cheering, filling the stands here at Warriors ground as the Raptors take a 3-1 series lead. And we know how tough that hill is to climb.
Hey, it's Lina Washington coming to you from Raley Field for the final time.
Hey, it's Lina Washington in Oakland for the American League wildcard game between the Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays. More than 54,000 fans packed the Coliseum tonight. Hey, it's Lina Washington in Oakland, and they say the autumn wind is a Raider. Well, the Oakland Raiders are getting ready to close out the first week of the NFL regular season right here at the Coliseum behind me, hosting their AFC West Division rivals, the Denver Broncos. And for Raider Nation, well, they'll be taking in every moment of this night. Hey, it's Lina Washington in San Francisco, and I'm taking you on a behind-the-scenes look inside Chase Center, the new home of the Golden State Warriors. Hey guys, it's Lina Washington. I am out here at Catavadera Country Club in Lincoln. I am following around some of your favorite sports personalities out here for Bobby Jackson's Foundation's tournament. We're gonna see what they got here on the golf course. We're gonna Hey guys, it's Lina Washington out here at Catavadera Country Club in Lincoln. I'm following around some of your favorite sports personalities supporting Kings assistant coach Bobby Jackson and his Foundation's tournament out here. So let's see what they got here on the golf course. Weeks of hard work paying off on the hardwood behind me, where King stars De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley play. Hey, it's Lina Washington coming to you from inside the Golden One Center, and you can see behind me they are shutting it down here following UFC Fight Night here. Hey, it's Lina Washington coming to you from Oakland Raiders training camp in Napa, and there are a lot of storylines heading into this season for the Silver and Black. Hey, it's Lina Washington coming to you from beautiful South Lake Tahoe. Edgewood Golf Course is the place to be this week with the 30th annual American Century Celebrity Golf Tournament teeing off right here and bringing some of the biggest stars in sports and entertainment to state
state line.
And there you see Kawhi Leonard practicing and getting ready to lead his team to an NBA championship. But earlier today, some of the members of the Raptors and, of course, the Warriors weighing in on that injury to Kevin Durant. How much did you pay to be here today, the final game in Oakland?
Including fees and everything, $550. Still way cheaper than what the Chase Center will be.
So this experience with your son, of course, last game at Oracle has to be priceless. But do you have any idea how much he paid for that gift?
I don't want to think about it because I would have talked him out of it. But he was determined to come. And it's priceless. Be with my son.
Hey, it's Lina Washington coming to you from outside Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The 49ers are coming off their first off day.
4, 3, 2, 1. Listen up, y'all, because this is it.
I never got to try out for the Kings dancers or the Suns dancers, which is my home team, but these girls are going to teach me a little bit of their routines, so maybe I'll at least kind of have the chops to come out on June 18th for auditions, right? Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Hey, ABC 10, welcome to my crib. Just kidding. This is the new training facility for Kings Guard, which is the new NBA 2K team for the Sacramento Kings.
If you can think back to July 2017, Sacramento Republic FC hosted what they called a groundmaking here for a proposed new soccer stadium they were hoping to see built in 2020. I even have the hard hat to prove I was at the event. Hello, welcome into a special edition of ABC 10 News after college football Saturday. I'm Lina Washington. Hope you enjoyed that game between the Oregon Ducks and the Auburn Tigers. Sacramento's own Spencer Webb, a Christian Brothers product, scoring a TD for Oregon tonight as the second week of the college football season gives us some of these early heavyweight matchups. But closer to home, the Sac State Hornets opening up their season. We begin tonight with golf because it's not every day a local product wins on the PGA Tour. In fact, it's been almost a year since Sacramento's Cameron Champ won his first PGA Tour event. But this week, the North Highlands native returned to the place where he made his pro debut 2 years ago. Simply a dream come true for Vivek Ranadive, who purchased the Kings in 2013. And as we mentioned, this will be the first time any American sports league plays a game in his home country. All right, turning now to the Raiders, who enjoyed the entire week off. The bye coming at a perfect time as Oakland is currently in the midst of 5 straight road games, although Oakland won 2 in a row. And even though they lost their linebacker Vontaze Burfict for the rest of the season after the NFL upheld his suspension, head coach John Gruden is pleased with where his team is right now. Welcome to Toyota Sports Section on ABC 10. I'm Lina Washington. Thanks for closing out your Sunday night with me. We've got a lot to get to tonight. The 49ers are serving up some home cooking while the Raiders hit the road for a long time. We'll show you how both Bay Area football teams looked in week 3 of the NFL season. And the Oakland A's have been on a tear in September, but will they be playing in October? We've got an update on the playoff standings. Plus, we'll look ahead to Bruce Bochy's final week as skipper in San Francisco. Now to the latest in the soap opera known as Raiders training camp in Napa. Wrapping up today, the team will return to their headquarters in Alameda on Tuesday before a much-needed day off coming up tomorrow. And that will give the team a chance to get their house in order because the latest from training camp today, Antonio Brown was a no-show at the final practice. Tell us how it all went, Lina. Yeah, Madison and Chris, NBA basketball playing for the very first time in India as part of Vivek Ranadive's vision when he bought the Kings back in 2013. And today, it became a reality. All right, now to the elephant in the room that continues to be Antonio Brown. Another week and more headlines about the talented wide receiver. And today, he went on a tear on social media. Yeah, it's major stuff in minor league baseball. Longtime Rivercats fans, season ticket holders, and even team owner Susan Savage were all waiting at the bottom of the escalators with me at Sacramento International Airport to welcome the champs home. And what a ride it's been for the Rivercats. A great result, the 49ers opening the season with back-to-back road wins for the first time since 1989 and for the first time since 2012. They're 2-0 to start the season. Just one of the several Kings players participating in the FIBA World Cup, even though he's the only one on Team USA, Corey Joseph, scored 16 points for Team Canada in their loss to Australia today. Nemanja Bjelica, Bogdan Bogdanovic, both playing for Serbia. Bogi scoring 24 in Serbia's win over Angola. Belly was sidelined in that game. And how about Isaiah Pinheiro, the Auburn native playing for Puerto Rico, scoring 8 points in a win over Iran. And the Kings will open up their training camp in a little more than 2 weeks, opening the preseason schedule with 2 games in India. We look forward to that. And this week's Sports Standout introducing us to a young man who's about to become very familiar to Giants fans. I'm talking about Mauricio Dubon. He's a native of Honduras, but he came to Sacramento to live with a host family to play high school baseball at Capital Christian. Now, a trade last month brought him to the Giants organization, and now he's right back here in the capital city at Raleigh Field. Well, it's a new look NBA, and it's no secret that Kawhi Leonard, one of the biggest stars in the league, likes to keep a low profile. And this year's NBA Finals MVP became the focus of free agency this week, but in true Kawhi Leonard fashion, the news came quietly just after 2 in the morning on Saturday on the East Coast.
Lina.
Yeah, Chris, after a 4-month-long investigation, the Kings and the NBA announcing there was not sufficient basis to support the allegations made against Luke Walton. But we begin tonight with the NBA Finals. After 24 years in the league, the only team north of the border is having its moment in the spotlight. The Toronto Raptors opening this NBA Finals series against the 2-time defending NBA champion Warriors with a win at home on Thursday. But would they be able to recreate that magic in Game 2 tonight? Usually when a visit is impending, that means that a big announcement will be coming in terms of MLS expansion. But I can tell you that Republic FC's front office still confident we will get the next expansion team. They talked to me at the game on Saturday out at Papa Murphy's Park, and they are finalizing this deal or close to it, but we've seen Sacramento get passed up time and time again. The Toyota Save Mart 350 marking the return of the infamous carousel. If you don't know about it, it's a challenging part of the racetrack that goes downhill with tight twists and a blind turn. It's been closed off since 1997, but it's back to celebrate NASCAR's 50th season. As you can see behind me, I had a chance to get a sneak peek strapping up with racing legend Michael Waltrip. Boogity, boogity, boogity. I had the ride of my life. Check it out. You my Uber driver?
I am.
All right.
Uber Mike's in town.
Here we go. I'm here with Michael Waltrip, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
On the other side? What do you mean?
The other side of the carousel, you know, with the course. Okay. See ya. Ready to go!
Gun it, I'm talking. 110, 120, 132 miles an hour. This is entering the carousel here.
So a lot of storylines, as we mentioned, going into this. The Raptors making their first NBA Finals appearance, and they had a chance to win it with a 3-1 lead. Now that series is 3-2 heading to Game 6. How does Kevin Durant's injury, though, affect how the Warriors pack up and keep this thing rolling on Thursday?
You're a celebrity this year, by the way, too.
Well, I guess we're going to break some news. I guess I have to show up to the Links and Laughs event coming up on Thursday, August 29th out at Roseville's Top Golf. I got to know, though, are they going to be roasting Greg Vaughn at this comedy event on Thursday, or what can we expect? You saw my swing just now. You think it's going to be a good night for me?
Yeah, the bartenders will be there, so I think it'll be a good night for you.
So, hey, a good time will be had by all. Hello, everyone. Thank you for sticking around with us after Game 1 of the NBA Finals on ABC 10, coming to you from Toronto. Lina Washington, joined by Henry Turner. You hear him and you see him. He's a former Kings player, current radio analyst on Sports 1140 KHTK, and that was a pretty exciting game if you're a Toronto Raptors fan, right, Henry? No Kevin Durant, obviously, for the Warriors in Game 1. Or Game 2. Jury's still out on if we see him at all during this series as he continues to recover from a calf strain sustained in that Houston series. But he hasn't resumed basketball activities. So do we see Kevin Durant moving forward in this best-of-7 series? For those of you who are watching and unfortunately couldn't see the score throughout the game, the biggest lead the Warriors had throughout the entire game was 2 points, and that was in the first half of play. They made that second half run, as we've seen them do so many times, but the Raptors never let them eclipse more than, 6 points in the second half. Warriors in 7, you said, right? 7 and 6, I'm sorry.
In 6, I said in 6.
Warriors in 6. I've picked Raptors in 6. Let us know your predictions. We will be following the NBA Finals again right here on ABC 10, on our ABC 10 YouTube channel, on the sports page, on abc10.com.
Your team's about to board a big jet on their way to make history for the NBA. Just what does that mean for you to be a part of this moment?
Well, this is huge. When I came into the NBA and I bought the Kings, Adam Silver promised me that one day we would have a game in India. And so thank you, Adam Silver. You've kept your promise. So it's taking the NBA to India, and it's bringing India to the NBA. So it's historic, it's epic, and I'm so excited.
And just from your perspective, how special is that to see the experience your players are going to have through their eyes?
It's going to be amazing for the players. We just have a great group of kids. Harrison was there over the summer. So they've already had some taste, or at least one of them has. And I just want them to enjoy it. I want them to embrace the experience. And spread the word.
I don't know if you know that Chris Webber was the keynote speaker at this event last year.
No, it's good. What's up? No, it's good. Yeah.
You know, he kind of mentioned that, pulling from his experience at Michigan, of course, but just what was it like kind of working with him on the set of Uncle Drew, and just what have you seen him mean to the Sacramento community?
Yeah, Chris has been a great friend for a long time, and what I love about Chris is that he's just a great guy, you know, just a good spirited person, a person who wants to do well, a great role model. He loves kids also. Having the opportunity to work with Chris was great. I mean, we would talk and really bounce things off of each other and just, you know, give an honest opinion. So I really love his work ethic, what he does on television, how he gives back now, having a chance to be with his beautiful wife, Erica, and their twins, and being at their home. He's so welcoming, just a good person. And so that you can always, I think, rely on more than anything else when you talk about Chris Webber. But obviously he was a great basketball player too. And that's the icing on the cake, that, you know, he was a great basketball player, but just a better person. So I'm happy to follow in his footsteps. So preacher Betty Lewis here. No. I'll try to do a great job today as well.
Yeah, future Basketball Hall of Famer?
Yes, for sure. He has my vote.
Well, yeah.